Pearl Farmers Market is one of San Antonio's hidden gems. Every Saturday from 9 to 1, growers and vendors from the surrounding 150-mile radius make the trek to the Old Pearl Brewery to sell their produce and goods to eager customers. To better understand the origins of the farmers market, I spoke to the Pearl Farmers Market manager, Tatum Evans.
So the history of the farmers market starts probably in 2007, I would say, when there was a steering committee that was put together that was really committed and dedicated to bringing a farmers market to the Pearl property. There were a group of farmers, some people here at Pearl that really worked together and figured out how to work together to make it happen. And then in 2008 is when I kind of came on board to help operate and manage and get the farmers market off and running. And then about May 16th, 2009 is when we had our grand opening. So we are going on 4 years of the Pearl Farmers Market. So we've grown in vendors. We've also grown in customer base. I think all of our vendors have continued to see more and more repeat customers, as well as we see first-timers, even after 4 years. We see first-time shoppers of the farmers market. And then we've grown in, I think, the awareness of eating locally and supporting your local farmer has also grown, because not only is it just a Saturday farmers market, but the education of what these farmers do on a day-to-day basis. We also try and help promote that through vendor spotlights in our newsletters, as well as photos from the field on our Facebook page. So one of Pearl's commitments is food. It's food education, food awareness, eating food, anything about food. And so that's something that the farmers market really focuses on. It's food, community, and education, all of them. So what it's brought to Pearl is a sense of community. It's a one-day-a-week event where people from all over the city, as well as visitors to the city, come and experience local agriculture. So farmer meets urban foodie all on a Saturday. So my favorite part of Saturdays, and it's my job, and which I enjoy and love. But my favorite part is really the community aspect of it. You hear shoppers swapping recipes, or you hear a farmer describing a new type of produce to a shopper that's never seen it before, or educating their children, on how to grow it and prepare it and stuff like that. So it's really the feel, it's the energy that the farmers market brings, to a Saturday.
One person who helps bring that energy to the farmers market is tour guide and special event coordinator Sissy Hinges. Sissy, along with the help of some of the Pearl Brewery's retirees, gives 2 tours every Saturday at 10 and 12 of the Pearl grounds.
When people come to San Antonio and they come to the farmers market, first of all, I think they're just stunned with what we have here. Very often someone will say, in my city, we had an old blank factory, some kind of factory or some kind of plant like this one is. And then they inevitably tell me that they tore it down because the property was deemed more valuable than the buildings were. So everyone seems thrilled to see this being done somewhere where the restoration is occurring. Not only restoration, rejuvenation and gentrification, and it's just delightful for people to see. Our market has changed over the past 4 years. I've been doing this for 4 years. I think we have our regulars that come every week, and they've come every week for 4 years. And when they don't come, we get worried about them. And then every week we have visitors that come in from downtown. And so it's fun to start again fresh every week. I have people, when I do the tours, I've had people that have done the tours maybe once every 6 months with me. Sometimes I think that they could give the tour instead of me, it would be fine. I enjoy that when people come, their expectation of a farmer's market can be different than the reality of a farmer's market. My favorite part of the experience of being at the farmer's market is the excitement that our farmers can muster every week to come down here. They have to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to come down here to sell their product, which means they picked it yesterday evening until late. So just their tenacity to keep doing this week after week. And then I'm extremely interested the things I've learned to eat, because they'll say, have you ever had Swiss chard? And I go, I never wanted to eat Swiss chard. And they went, but I'm going to tell you how to fix it. And so it's been exciting for my taste palate. Now I only want fresh dill. I don't want the dry dill anymore. I've gotten very picky.
Well, the Pearl has done a lot of things for my business. I actually started my business to coincide with the opening of the farmers market. I graduated culinary school here back in 2007, and I knew that there was a farmers market in the works. And once I had heard about it and knew that it was coming up soon, then I started my company to coincide with the start of it. So we were here from the beginning, and it was a great business decision to start with this as our outlet, because of the fact that we have so many people that come here, so many different demographics. We have a central location in San Antonio that has a lot of different things that draws people in. It's just a wonderful place. People really get educated. That's what I do here, is I cook to show people how to cook at home, and try to educate people on how to eat healthy and how to cook your own food using really great ingredients that are grown basically in the backyard. Our biggest sector, our biggest customer is moms with young kids. Moms who are kind of educating themselves on how to cook with good products, wholesome ingredients. That's probably our biggest sector. People trying to feed families on a budget and trying to learn how to cook for more than one or two people. Other than that, there are all kinds. We've got kids, who their parents don't like it, but they come and they get a hummus with their own money. And we have elderly people who come from like big tour buses that come from an elderly home, and they'll buy it. It's a great thing that they can eat during the week, that they don't have to eat it. Cafeteria food, good snack.
I'm a Secretary Treasurer of the Pearl Farmers Market Association. It was one of the original, was one of the original individuals that set up the market, got it organized, and that type of thing. And we've grown with the market. When we first started coming into market, we really didn't know what kind of products were going to go over very well. We've got a huge demographic of different types of people. I mean, young, old, alike, and they all are here because they appreciate good food, local food, and purchasing from a local producer, a local farmer, or a local rancher. Our fish, our vegetables, all of them are very special to us, and they seem to be very special to them too, in that they appreciate them and are certainly come back for more every week. I suppose our youngest is one of the babies that was born that we saw their mom expecting before. We've gone through at least one very portion of a generation at this point, because we've been in business for almost 5 years now, and the Pearl Farmers Market has been in existence almost 5 years, and we we just build relationships every week, and that's one of the beautiful areas or beautiful things about this market, is that we have lifelong relationships now. I think that number one, They come here because of the advertising or friends that they have talked with that says you need to go to Pearl. That's the key to bringing anyone in. The fact that it's at the Pearl Complex, this is a culinary destination. You've got individuals all the time opening very specialty restaurants here at Pearl, so that's a draw. But once they come in, once we are able to talk across the table and explain our products, how we grow them, who is growing them, that we are doing the work, that relationship starts right there. Then they taste our product when they get home. And that sort of solidifies it, really. The quality of the product that you get here on any of these tables is, you just can't match it in the store. I don't think you can anyway. And that's why I appreciate what we do so much, is because our quality speaks for itself. We build a relationship, and then, like I said, the product solidifies it when they get it home. And we've been doing this for about 10 years, and aquaponics is a rather unique business in that it is coexisting between fish and vegetables, and one depends on the other. The vegetables have their nutritions provided by the fish, and then the nutrients are filtered out, and we have filtered water going back to the fish, and it's a very sustainable type of business, and it's, like I said, we've been in business for about 10 years, and our main outlet is the Pearl Farmers Market.
Yeah, they're amazing.
The rosemary ciabatta. This is our seeded sourdough, our multi-grain loaf, our sourdough French, our cinnamon raisin challah, our beer bread, and this is our monkey bread, our cinnamon boulevard bread. Try them all. Try them all? Yeah.
What is the sauce over there?
It's basically real simple. Balsamic vinegar, olive oil, garlic, dried Italian herbs.
We're out here at the Pearl Brewery Farmers Market. We're out here every Saturday 9 to 1, and we're out here introducing everybody out here to our product, our breads, our pastries, our focaccia. Loose sampling bread right now, which we do every Saturday. We have a variety of breads out for people to try. I think the sampling, the people are actually able to talk to the baker, the person that's making the bread. So if they have any questions about it, he can answer their questions. It's just a valuable thing to actually be interacting with the person that's creating your food.
The Pearl Farmers Market is a second home to the Soli Luna Baking Company. Being one of a few vendors that has a traditional brick-and-mortar store, Soli Luna uses their retail location off days of Alla Road to prep for Saturday's event. To show me what it takes to prep for Saturday's event, Lou Gaetan invited me to his kitchen to watch him and his team prepare some ciabatta bread.
What we specialize here in Soli Luna is artisan, rustic European breads. And what we want to demonstrate here is mixing a ciabatta dough.
So in here I've got our water and our starter, which is a foolish, which is basically to start the dough to add character and flavor to it. Is fermented overnight, just a mixture of water and flour and yeast. So yeah, what I'll do right now is I have everything measured out. Is I will add the flour. And the yeast, and basically start to mix all of this together.
This particular dough by hand is bread is done. Traditional bread is made by mixing it and kneading it. And what that does, it creates what they call gluten, and gluten is what makes the bread rise. What ciabatta is just the opposite. You want to mix it together, but not to the point of where you're overworking it. And then I'll demonstrate by cutting open a ciabatta and kind of showing you what a normal bread looks like and as opposed to a ciabatta. By mixing it by hand, you get the feel of what we're doing and not overworking it. So it's just... Where he's putting this bread in is called a fruit box, heated box with a little water for humidity so the bread doesn't dry out. And So this is going to make the bread rise before we bake it. Basically, was born and raised in San Francisco and Bay Area, and that's where I learned my craft. The temperature there is pretty much 70 degrees throughout the year. I mean, there's really no hot summers, really no cold winters. So the difference there is that there's more of a controlled climate. When I came to San Antonio, my biggest challenge was the humidity and the heat. The heat, there's some days when it's 100, we got ovens going on here that are, at 500 degrees, and we got 4 ovens. It adds to the heat outside, even though we have AC in here. So what that ends up happening is that it affects the fermentation. Fermentation is what makes the bread rise and grow, the bacteria. So a lot of times we have to control our environment by using ice water to kind of cool down the dough, and that's sort of, so there's a lot more to San Antonio as far as making bread.
That's where like the hand mixing really comes into play. Just can't get that kind of texture, that kind of lift if this was a machine mixed bread.
We have such a diversified group here of all kinds of people, from old to young to single, married, families, dogs. We have everything here. Not only between our vendors, but also between your customer and your farmer relationship. Because as far as since we've been here almost 4 years, and well, we've watched people come and go, but mostly come. They don't, once they get here, they come back and they come back, and we see babies being born. We call them farmers market babies because, they come in 1 month and they're about to explode, and the next we have a new customer. So, but it's important to have a good relationship with your customers, and I know that a lot of our farmers and our other than vendors, what we call other than vendors that produce other things, they have a name-to-name relationship with their customers. I mean, my customers come up and call me Cora, and I can call them by their first names also. So it's a really good thing, and then that way your customers will say, well, what's coming up next? What can we expect in the next 2 or 3 months? So they get really excited about what's coming to the market. We like that. When we first started this, to put this market together, we had a goal in mind of what we could do, and it's coming around twofold, and it was to bring the community together, have a good food source for them, and have a good experience for them. And we wanted to be a main food source for our community, and it's come to that now. And it's just growing and growing, and it's so viable, and we're so blessed to have such a great place to farm, bring our wares and to sell them, and be appreciated when you do it. And I think that Pearl has our relationship as farmers and Farmers Market Association with Pearl has been extraordinary. We just couldn't be more happy. And if you'd love to come out and have some great food, come out to the Farmers Market at Pearl. It's great. There you go.
From UTSA, you said? Okay, very good. And did you turn me off already?
Yes, I did.
Okay, turn me right back on. And the one thing that I do want to encourage you to is that the more local, the more support farmers markets can get, the more we're going to be here. Okay, and it's up to the individual, young and old. Hopefully you and your classmates will find some way to get here too and enjoy our products, because we could be gone tomorrow if you're not here. Okay, and that's very important.